What's going on, Jets fans? Welcome back to another video. As you already know, Dominic Toninato signed a 2-year extension yesterday with the Winnipeg Jets with an annual cap hit of $750,000. And the reason why I'm making this video now instead of yesterday is honestly because the day got away from me, time got away from me, and I really forgot and just didn't have time to make this video until now. And then by the time I made this video at 11 o'clock, 11:30 at night, I thought it was better to upload in the morning for all you guys to see it then. So this is already old news, but it's still interesting news because this is the first real step in the right direction the Winnipeg Jets have started with this offseason. And the reason why I say that is because I really like Dominic Toninato in the games we saw with him this year in the Winnipeg Jets. Now, Dominic Toninato is a very interesting player, let me tell you, because not only was he drafted in the 5th round, 126th overall, way back in 2012, he spent a lot of different time playing with different organizations. Also, he was drafted by the Maple Leafs. But in case you didn't already know, he spent time with Florida the year before being with Winnipeg, 46 games played where he was able to put up 4 goals, 7 assists for 11 points. Then a lot of time in different AHL systems, the Colorado Eagles, the Springfield Thunderbolts, playing with the Colorado Avalanche for 2 years in a row, getting into 37 games played in his first year in 2017-18, 0 goals, 2 assists for 2 points, in 37 games. Then the year after, only 2 goals played and 1 goal. 2 games played, 1 goal. God, this late night recordings are getting to me. But nevertheless, he came into the Jets this year as a free agent signing late into the offseason, right before the season started, more as just a Manitoba Moose guy for the Jets to have as a call-up and whatnot. And even then, he really wasn't even a Manitoba Moose guy. He was more of just a press boxer for us all year round, just didn't really jump into a lot of games, only playing 2 regular season games with the Jets, being able to register an assist. But interesting enough, jumping into the lineup in the playoffs for 3 games in that first round against Edmonton, being able to put up a goal in those 3 games. And then the Manitoba Moose, he was able to put up 3 goals as well. So he had a pretty decent year when you look at the amount of games he played and the success he had overall playing between the Winnipeg Jets and the Manitoba Moose this year. And the reason why I think this is a step in the right direction for the Winnipeg Jets and Cheveldayoff is because having a guy like this who maybe isn't the most consistent day-to-day, ready-to-go best NHL player you can have, but a guy that is consistent for depth, a guy that can come in and play the bottom 6 really well, a guy that can play on the Moose, that can play anywhere in the lineup really for you when it comes to injuries and plugging into whatnot, and a guy who's pretty good defensively and has had a knack for scoring good goals for you in certain situations. I think keeping him on such a league minimum deal like this is perfect because the Jets in the past have had a tendency to go out and sign guys to deals very similar to this, guys like Nate Thompson, for example, and going back to even like Mark Letestu and stuff like that. And I think signing a guy like Dominic Toninato, who, let me remind you, he's not even that old, he's only 27 years old, so having a guy that's younger like this, who hasn't been able to find a real stable home in the NHL after having a decent year with Florida last year, 11 points in 46 games, and then coming into the Jets and just being a solid replaceable guy when you needed him to come into your lineup, I think having a guy like that is very interesting because I would not be opposed to having him potentially be on a 4th line for us next year, depending on how things go with prospects. Because let me ask you this, Jets fans, would you rather have a 27-year-old, inconsistent journeyman in the NHL trying to find his way with the Jets, or a 34-year-old guy who's been nothing but a bum the last few years of his career, barely being even NHL caliber, coming into the lineup and taking a spot from the young guy? If there's anyone that's going to be taking a spot from a guy like Christian Vesalainen or whatnot, I would much rather have a guy like Dominic Toninato take that spot over a guy who we already know exactly what we're getting in him, because yeah, Toninato may be 27 years old, but in my opinion, at 27 years old, having a pretty good year with Florida and being very consistent with the Jets and the Moose and in the playoffs as well, that can be a good signing and a good direction for his growth as a player. So honestly, I'm not opposed to it. I think there's a lot of value in keeping him here, especially for the contract you keep him on. This is a great signing by Chevy and his staff to go out and make this move right now. Nothing, that changes the identity of his team, but just keeping good talent is always important, especially when you're a team that does have a harder time attracting free agents at times. So keeping a guy like this who had a good success with you, who got a good look and is honestly pretty well loved by the fans as well. Looking at you, Dominic Toretto memers out there. Point being, though, I think it's very funny that we've seen this happen from him this year. I miss everything that's happened. I'm just happy to see him coming back, and I'm just looking forward to seeing how his growth will continue with this franchise. So let me know your thoughts about Dominic Toninato. Short video today announcing that signing and whatnot. I'm very curious to hear your thoughts on this and whether or not you think it's more of a, if you're happy with it or what your thoughts are. Let me know any thoughts you have about Dominic down there in the description below, as always, and whatever, not description, comments. It's too late, guys. With all that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. Peace, love, and positivity to all of you guys in the rest of the world, wherever you are, blah, blah, blah. Have a great day. I will see you guys in the next video, and go Jets, go.